This is Eddie Silva for the SLSO blog, and I am in Ward Stairs' downtown loft, and we are looking at him in his picture with Jack Nicholson. Ward is conducting his subscription concert debut with the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra Thanksgiving weekend. And Ward, how did you and Jack get together?
Well, this is kind of a fun photo. I couldn't resist putting it up in my apartment. It's from opening night two years ago, I guess, when I was out at the Los Angeles Philharmonic as the League of American Orchestras conducting fellow, and he happened to come to the gala, and we actually chatted for quite a bit. He's a really knowledgeable classical music fan, particularly opera, which surprised me. It's a lot of fun.
So he does more than basketball in LA.
Definitely.
I thought we'd move over to Ward's window ledge and get this shot of the Statue of Liberty, being that Ward is conducting the New World Symphony, and I was just thinking that this is actually, Dvorak coming from Czechoslovakia. This is something he saw.
I bet he did, and it's funny, the image of the Statue of Liberty, it always comes to mind for me right in the opening of the piece. I picture a boat full of immigrants coming in very early in the morning to New York Harbor. There might be some mist coming off of the water, and you see the Statue of Liberty, and can you imagine the expectation and the wonder in all their minds as they're finally arriving in this new world? And then toward the end of the introduction, before the exposition really starts, the orchestra changes from this sort of dream into a really harsh reality, and it's almost like the doors flew open and bang, now we're in the new world.
Ward, this is some pretty strong music going on here. This is the scene, the death of Tybalt. Though you've been telling me there's something actually a little more going on in this scene than Tybalt's death. You might, for those of us who don't know the R&J story all that closely, tell us exactly what's important about the death of Tybalt.
Well, this is definitely one of the most intense scenes, both in the ballet and in the music, and we've retained it in our suite that we're presenting Thanksgiving weekend, of course. And this is one of the most. It was one of the most interesting moments for me when I first started studying this and started working on the suite, because one of the things I did was I went back and I read the play again, and of course, the death of Tybalt is actually a relatively short scene. Mercutio is killed by Tybalt first, and then, of course, everyone knows the story. Romeo is upset, goes after Tybalt, and he actually kills him rather quickly. And in the ballet,
I think Leonardo DiCaprio does it with a machine gun. But
yeah, well, that's we're talking more old school. Think Dagger,
okay. More Zeffirelli.
Yeah, that's right. So in this scene, in the music, you'll hear a series of very sharp downbeats, and that's actually the fight, the skirmish, between Romeo and Tybalt. And then he dies very quickly on one chord, and all this music you're hearing takes place when Lady Capulet runs out into the square and sees Tybalt dead in front of everyone. And
Tybalt is her son.
Tybalt is her cousin.
Oh, her cousin. I'm sorry.
And she sees him lying dead, and of course there's been a lot of bloodshed at this point. And all of this music is her inner agony. I mean, just heart-wrenching, but it's all what's going on for her internally, and it's just so powerful. And the fact that Prokofiev saw into this moment in Shakespeare's drama and expanded it, I think is just a real testament to his true genius and true sense of drama in music. Now, this music is heard in some of the suites that Prokofiev, in one of the suites that Prokofiev himself wrote, but he calls it the death of Tybalt, which is misleading. In the original ballet, it's actually only called finale, because it's not actually when Tybalt dies. So it's one of those interesting moments that I think we've retained in our suite, and it's going to be really powerful.
So we could really call it the anguish of Lady Capulet.
That's right. And I know the St. Louis Symphony is going to sound sensational on this.